Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So earlier today, I was on Facebook and I came across an article from the New York Times. I'll post a link in the description box so that you could read the article for yourself. And also, I saw a video on CNN about this matter. But before I get into this subject matter, I want to let you all know that I have a second New Possibilities channel. Some people know about it. I will post a link in the description box to that channel. I encourage you all to watch my latest video and also to subscribe to that channel. I thank you for your support. So for this video right now, we're going to talk about some controversial statements that Donald Trump made about immigration. He was in a meeting with his cabinet and members of Congress, and they were talking about immigration. They were negotiating over immigration. As you all know, he's trying to reach an agreement with members of Congress to have comprehensive immigration reform and also have some measures in place to secure the borders. So they're trying to have negotiations about this issue. During this discussion, some members of Congress brought up the need to have protections in place to protect immigrants from Haiti and from African countries. And in response to that, Donald Trump said, why are we having these people from these shithole countries coming to the United States? We need to have more people from countries like Norway come to the United States. Now, I want to talk about the implications of that statement. Obviously, it is a racist statement. Clearly, this man is expressing animosity and hostility towards African people, towards black people. Haiti is a predominantly black country, and we know that Africa is a country of black people, of African people. This man is expressing his utter contempt for black people. And my question is this, how many more signs do people need before they realize that this man is a white supremacist, a racist? This man has already talked about, using the Justice Department to fight against affirmative action. This man has openly supported racial profiling. This man has called for the end of using consent decrees to reform police departments. This man created a voter fraud commission. It was basically designed to suppress black voters. How many more signs do people need to see before they realize that this man is in fact a racist, a bigot, a white supremacist? This man made favorable comments about white supremacists during that Charlottesville riot that took place, where you had a white supremacist kill a woman who was protesting, where you had white supremacists attacking protesters. This man said that those people that participated in that white supremacist rally were some fine people, some good people. He said there was wrong on both sides, even though the racists and white supremacists were the ones committing most of the violence. That's how that man characterized that horrific event. How many more signs do people need to see before they realize that this man is in fact a racist? And this brings me to this whole immigration issue. We have to understand that this immigration issue is nothing but a smokescreen to cover up bigotry, to cover up racism, to cover up prejudice. A lot of these people who are pushing this whole anti-immigration narrative, these people are white supremacists. These people are racist. They fear the browning of America, and they fear what they call so-called white genocide. That is why they are pushing so hard against immigration. These people don't have any problem with white people immigrating to this country, as Donald Trump expressed in his own statement by saying, we need more people from places like Norway to come to the United States. Norway is a European white country. But when he talks about bad countries, so-called shithole countries, he is referring to black countries. That is not a mistake. That is not a coincidence. And this is just another reminder of why this immigration issue is important to black people. You know, I did videos where I was talking about how this issue affects black people, because many of these immigrants that Donald Trump is trying to prevent from coming to this country, they are black people. And if this man feels this much hatred towards people who are immigrating from Africa and Haiti, imagine the kind of hatred he feels for your black ass here in America. He has the same kind of animosity towards you. I'm sure he looks at the communities that many black people come from in the same light that he looks at these African countries and Haiti. So we have to understand the intersectionality between these different issues, the issue of immigration and the issue of racism. You know, we see that there are black groups that are affected by these policies. We know that for years, America had a racist policy when it came to Haitian immigrants. They had a policy of keeping Haitians out of the country, but welcoming white Cubans into this country. So we know this history is long, this history is extensive, and this is just another example of this. So we have to understand that the immigration issue is important. You know, often these people that are hostile to the immigrants, they are also hostile to black people. The people that are hostile to the Muslims are also hostile to black people. The people that are hostile to the Latinos and the Jews and the Muslims, those are the same people that are hostile to black people. And these different groups have everything in their best interest to work together against this common threat, against common enemies like this racist, white supremacist president that we have in the White House. Have people forgotten that this man was sued for housing discrimination? This man did not want to rent property to black people. This man went out of his way to put in a full-page ad calling for the death penalty to be imposed against the people who were wrongfully accused of that Central Park rape years ago. So we got to understand this situation. We have to know what time it is. And this should be a wake-up call to us. This should be a call to arms. It should call us to the importance of the midterm elections. Each and every one of us needs to be registered to vote, so that we can make sure that Congress is not filled with these Republicans that are going to push forward this man's racist, sexist, oppressive agenda. That's what we have to do. Now, these people often have all these disparaging things to say about the so-called developing world, about Africa, about Haiti, not taking into any account the role that the West played in the underdevelopment and the destabilization of Africa and Haiti and other parts of the developing world. These people raped and pillaged Africa of its human and material resources. It robbed Africa blind, and it pumped in guns, and it supported the most dictatorial, authoritarian regimes in the world, and it wonders why there's conflict. They fueled tensions between rival ethnic groups on the continent, and then they wonder why there is conflict and civil war in Africa. They wonder why there is famine, despite the fact that they helped create these conditions. And after creating these conditions, they want to point the finger at the people that are victimized by those conditions. That's what they do. You know, we're told, you know, this destabilization and these economic problems that were created by the West drive the need for immigration. It drives the need for people fleeing those places in order to seek a better life. Most people that are coming to the United States are coming here in search of opportunity. They're coming here in search of freedom. They are fleeing war. They are fleeing persecution and oppression. That's the nature of immigration. I mean, we hear all this rhetoric about this being a place to welcome those people who are fleeing those kind of conditions. But Donald Trump and these racist people that are around him want to shut the door in the faces of African people and people from Haiti and other places, people of color. You know, people said, well, oh, he's just talking about the Mexicans when he talked about how they were criminals and rapists. But now people hopefully will begin to see that there's a convergence of interests here. You know, all these different groups have common interests against a common problem. So those are my thoughts about this situation. Tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.